Hey guys, what's going on? It's Jay. Yeah, I'd like to give my thoughts on the Super Bowl halftime show for Super Bowl 54. First of all, congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs on winning the Super Bowl. I was pulling for the 49ers, but they didn't make it. So anyway, but this is about the halftime show. Um, the halftime show was a great show. Um, it had a lot of themes that a lot of people didn't really pick up on unless they, um, really paying attention with J Lo and Shakira. One such theme was the children in cages. J Lo had a part where children came out in cages when she was singing her song "Let's Get Loud," and it was like, why are these kids in cages? You know, well, obviously that's a statement against Donald Trump putting some of the migrants in a migrant kids in a quote unquote cage last year. You know, and it's making a political statement. Then she comes out with the Puerto Rican flag. Then the daughter sings "Born in the USA." Obviously, the Trump administration has wasted no time in for years and years telling Hispanics how un-American we are, how not a part of this nation we are, how we don't contribute to this country. And basically, J Lo was telling them, listen, Hispanic people are just as much a part of the United States as non-Hispanic people, and we're here to make a statement with that Puerto Rican and American flag, and with her daughter singing parts of "Born in the USA," which in itself is a very political, anti-establishment song. And the Puerto Rican flag in itself is very anti-establishment because for about 40 or 50 years after the United States annexed Puerto Rico and Puerto Rico became part of the United States, for many years the Puerto Rican flag was banned. And it was illegal to have a Puerto Rican flag. It was considered subversive against the United States regime. So for her to have a Puerto Rican flag up there, or for anyone to have a Puerto Rican flag up there, is a show of resistance against the status quo. Then Shakira, about Shakira's performance. Shakira also does a lot of her songs. But one that I wanted to point out was OSSC. In OSSC, she has like a Middle Eastern theme because Shakira's father is from Lebanon. Even though her mom's from Colombia, her father's from Lebanon. And she does the Middle Eastern thing, which is called um, uh, delilering. It's like when they go, and she does this in the camera. And a lot of people were making fun of it. A lot of people were mocking it, but it's something that people of Middle Eastern and North African descent oftentimes do when they are at parties or they're really happy. And of course, belly dancing is a very strong Middle Eastern motif. So again, going against the Donald Trump regime, Trump uh, is anti-Middle Eastern with the Muslim travel ban and going against the squad and telling the squad that they should go back to their countries. And here you got these two entertainers knocking it out the park with a lot of Latino, a lot of Latino and a lot of Middle Eastern references within their music and performance, sticking it to the status quo. And also Demi Lovato's performance of America the Beautiful. excuse me, the national anthem. Now we know in the national anthem, a lot of players and a lot of celebrities sit down because they're protesting against police brutality against African Americans. Excuse me, against African Americans, and that's Colin Kaepernick's protest, and that's exactly what Jay Z and Beyonce did. But I must say that Demi Lovato, as a Latina, blew this performance away. I don't think it's better than Whitney's, but it's right up there with Whitney's. So basically, the whole night, ethnic minorities, people of color were making political statements against your boy Donald Trump and letting them know, listen, we're not going to be bullied around. And especially for Latinos in Miami, it was basically our night, and we basically dominated. It was a little bit of Middle Eastern influence sprinkled in there too with Shakira, but it was really our our you know the marginalized. It was for marginalized groups and for women. It was a time to shine. Super Bowl. It was a political statement against Trump's immigration policy and against the Muslim ban and against his attacks on women. You know, and of course, a lot of people don't like it. People hate it. People said that it was too sexual. That Shakira and J Lo were up there stripping. First of all, J Lo was up there stripping because Oscars they were being racist and they denied her uh, um an Oscar nomination for her performance in The Hustlers. And that's that was the best performance of the whole movie. Forget Cardi B, forget Lizzo, forget Constance Wu. J Lo when she did Criminal, on the Apple song, she redefined the song. She came down in the stripper thing and she did her thing. And listen, if your son or your daughter has never seen sexual scenes in a movie, I don't know what rock you're living under. If you don't want them to see it, don't tell them don't watch the channel. It was tremendous. I loved it. You know what I mean? Because like I said, it was in Miami. It was repping for Latinos, and it's something that's going to be talked about forever. Just like Beyonce's performance in 2016 with the Black Panther thing, because it made a political statement. You know, and it touched on more than just music. Right now we're trying to get this guy out of office. Because he's attacked minorities, he's attacked African Americans, attacked Middle Easterners, and he's attacked Latinos. And all three groups stood up in their own way in a protest against his BS. He wasn't even there. And it overshadowed the game, but so what? You know what I mean? Now we got the freaking XFL coming out Sunday, which is a farce, which is also see politics. People say I don't want to get involved with politics, but in a way, politics is everything. You know what I mean? Like Vince McMahon is only putting out this bullshit XFL because not because of the documentary on ESPN, but because he knows that racist white conservatives are fed up with the NFL backing Colin Kaepernick's protest. You know, so he wants the racist white conservatives to go over to his side, where they still play the good old boy, white boy football, and all the black football players were all subservient to his political agenda, his racist political agenda, just like all the black wrestlers are subservient to his political agenda in WWE, or all the Asian performers like Nakamura. So that's what the XFL is going to be. But anyway, I was proud of J Lo. I was proud of Shakira. I was proud of. I'm not. I didn't know too much about Bad Bunny. I thought he was Pitbull, but I was proud of him too, and I was proud of Demi Lovato. It was Latin night at the Super Bowl, and I think it's funny that they did do a little tribute to Africa because in the type of music that J Lo and Shakira make, and in Spanish music in general, There's a very heavily African influence. You know, people may not realize it, people may not know it, but more African people went during the transatlantic slave trade to Latin American countries like Colombia, where Shakira is from, and Puerto Rico, where J-Lo's parents are from, than um the United States. So in songs like Africa by Shakira, when she had the whole place rocking, you know, and it was a song for the World Cup, and she played that at the Super Bowl, kind of linking cultures. And she was showing that Afro Latino influence. You know, sometimes we often forget that because the society tries to divide us up between Hispanics and quote unquote blacks. You know, we brothers, man. You know what I mean? And, you know, our roots, our third root is Africa. Whether we want to admit it or not, it's there. It's there in our music. It's there in the way we talk. It's there in the way we carry ourselves. And Shakira really showed that in that performance. You know, it was like looking at all our struggles as Latinos in that whole performance. You know, the fact that the flag was once banned, the fact that immigrant kids are being locked in cages, the fact that there's African influence and African music and indigenous music and indigenous songs and all that influence. It showed how rich and how beautiful Latino culture is. And I didn't even watch the game, but I was so proud of my sisters that they did that, man. And it really reminded me of my friend Lisa, that is a beautiful half Hispanic woman. My sister Marisol also, and my mom, you know, and all the beautiful Latinas that I know, man. Y'all got talent, man. I know this. Man, y'all got talent. Oh yeah, and a celebration for y'all. And I'll keep watching it and watching it and watching it. I didn't look at it as sexual. Yeah, they're beautiful. Yeah, they have nice bodies. But to me, it was a celebration of Latin culture. All that Latin culture encompasses. Middle Eastern influences, African influences, Colombian, Puerto Rican, Mexican. It was tremendous, man. It was just tremendous. You know, it was the best Super Bowl halftime show that I ever seen. You know, because I knew we'd get a white racist like Trump all panties in a bunch because he don't like to see that. He started off his campaign dissing us. He started off his campaign calling us rapists and murderers and shit. You don't like us. You don't fuck with us like that. But you know what? We're still here. This country was part of Mexico before it was part of the United States, brother. You know what I'm saying? Boricuas, Puerto Ricans, we served in every single war that's ever country's ever had. We sacrificed. In World War II, there was all Borinquen battalions that served in World War II. Pedro Arizo Campos, he's the father of Puerto Rican independence, the greatest Puerto Rican nationalist of the 19th century. Dude is dude was uh, a former military man who had to serve in a segregated military. He was killed by the CIA. You know, learn your culture. I tell all young Hispanics all the time, man, learn your culture, learn who you are. And this was just a Super Bowl halftime show, but it showed us who we are and who we could become. You know, John Leguizamo's always saying that about us. You know what I mean? That we act like we don't know who we are in this country. We act like we don't know who we got a history. You know, peace. And how our history intertwines with Black history. Because who's one of the fathers of Black history? It's Arthur Schomburg. Puerto Rican man. Arturo Schoenberg, a Puerto Rican man. How Afro-inspired musics like Momba and Bomba y Plena and Bachata and Merengue came from Africa, and they brought that over there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Arturo Schoenberg, one of the best historians ever in Black history, researchers from Latin America. So our diasporas and our histories have always been interconnected. It's just those scumbags like Trump that try to keep us separated. But don't let them do that, man. Don't let them tell you that you shouldn't let these here Mexicans in the country stealing your job, or you shouldn't be allies with groups like Black Lives Matter because they're troublemakers. Nah, man. Yo, gotta go back to the way it was in the '60s, man. You know what I mean? Like the Young Lords and the freaking Black Panthers, right? When they were marching in Chicago in protest for the rights, because they're taking away. Trump is taking away the same rights he's taking away from Black people, the same rights taken away from Latinos, the same rights he's gonna be taking away from poor white folks too. They're too dumb to see it. These same poor redneck white folks that wear the 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 MAGA hats and they hate Latinos and they hate the Super Bowl performance, they're gonna be getting there soon when Trump starts cutting disability. Wait and see. Peace.